Hi, this is Dr. Earle again. Now, on the last video, I told you a little bit about a research study that they did with spirituality and how they figure that spirituality has an impact on a person's life and their emotional well-being, and that people that tend to have a spiritual background, that is, of going to church or praying, or even if they do neither one of those things, but they take time in nature, on a regular basis, how it helps them guard against getting depressed. And it also helps them with substance abuse and different types of addictions like that. Now I want to talk to you a little bit about my version of spirituality and mental illness. When I was working at Eastern State Hospital, I was working with people that were psychotic. That is, they were having auditory and visual hallucinations. That is, hearing voices of people that were not present and seeing people or things that were not present, that no one else could see except them. And so I asked the psychiatrist, why do people have voices? Why do they hear voices in their head and there's no one there? Why do they see things that don't exist? After all, it's the psychiatrist that gives them medication, and generally speaking, the medication stops them from hearing voices and stops them from seeing things that aren't there. And so that's why I asked the psychiatrist, why that phenomena was going on. No psychiatrist could ever tell me why people hear voices, or even why the medications that they were administering to them would stop the voices and stop the visual hallucinations. So no more auditory or visual hallucinations when an individual is medicated with a psychotropic medication such as Haldol, which is the strongest antipsychotic medication known to man. So then I got to thinking about it, and after I left Eastern State Hospital, I was there for about 3 years, and I was the acting director of psychology when I left. After I left, I was thinking about it, and I decided to write something about it. I said, I want to put this down on paper, and so because I opened up a private practice and I wanted to be able to share my thoughts about auditory and visual hallucinations with the clients that I was seeing as an outpatient. So anyway, I came up with this idea that visual hallucinations and auditory hallucinations are somehow related to spirituality or demonic influence. So that's why I came up with the chapter, Spiritual Warfare Related to Mental Illness. And so in chapter 1 of Psychology from Scripture, I describe that thought of how I think spiritual warfare affects our mental functioning to a point of giving us auditory and visual hallucinations. Also in that chapter, I talk about my ideas about what you can do about it to eliminate those experiences of auditory and visual hallucinations from a strictly spiritual point of view. So when we meet next time, that's what we will do. We will go into chapter 1 of my book, Psychology from Scripture, where I outline my idea about the relationship between mental illness and spiritual warfare. So I hope you'll stay tuned for that, and see you next week. Thank you.